doctors, internists, Edelita and Roel,
who have once shared their life story and the very interesting twists of their journey.
what was the moment when you were back in America that you kind of you had this flash to make this significant change? What did you learn, and what was that moment?
Well, it was when the kids were pretty unhappy in America. Like, they didn't have much friends, but every time we asked them, where do you want to go for vacation? Each and every time, like every year we go on vacations, they say, we want to go to the Philippines. And so that was one point. And then the other, we wanted to serve our population and expat population, because there's an unmet need for people. In my practice, there are like Americans who say it's getting very expensive here, and then they will tell me, like, I wish I could go with you, or something to that effect. So it opened our eyes. There are not just the American population, the expat Filipinos, they will say, I want to go home, but nobody's taking care of me.
So, Edelita, I'm a mom, and also you're a mom. How do you describe being a mother with two kids in USA, and how it is different from being a mother here in the Philippines?
It's really different. First, I have twin boys, and they're now 16 years old. We brought them there when they were just 2.5 years old. Mm-hmm. And so, there in the US, Rob can attest that it's just really and we don't have close relatives there in Arizona. So we raised up the boys, just the two of us, and no extended families. And I think it's the one that really struck us most is when as doctors, we saw the pattern of, mental health creeping into the lives of our teenage boys. And it just was really just, mild, like sleep problems, but I know it can spiral down. Yeah. But here in the Philippines, I didn't have that issue anymore. The boys are very much engaged. They love the school, and they have more connections here. They feel the kids here are much more tuned into social interactions, like personally, and I think they're very well adopted here.
I'm curious, as a mother, what will be your long-term plan for them in their future, in their career? Would you like them to stay here in the Philippines, or would you like them to work on their career in the US?
It's a very interesting question that I try to keep engaging my boys with. But the reason why we listen silently to their call was because I realized that in raising children nowadays, I think we're past the principle of parents instilling or kind of behind the scenes pushing kids into what they want them to be. Mm-hmm. I am a firm believer of nurture their nature. So I think it's easier for children, for my boys, to find their spot in the world when they're in the right place, when they're in the right nature. And when they keep telling us that it's the Philippines, we love the Philippines, people are comfortable in the Philippines, that's what we did first. And now we let them explore their interest as much as our parents allowed us to explore our interest, which happened to be in the medical field. And now they're saying we don't see ourselves doing the same thing that you guys do. So we are kind of showing them the field of entrepreneurship, which is right now we see is more interesting and fulfilling.
So they're in the business track in their senior high school. There are 2 tracks here in the Philippines, like the STEM track and the ABM, which is more business inclined, and that's where they are. I sort of field test them every now and then. Do you want to go with Dad to Arizona? I get a firm no every time.
Yeah.
So as of now,
I don't want to go back either.
Can't blame you, Rob.
You know, a lot of Filipino families will think that you are doing it backwards because a lot of Filipinos really push their children to work in US. But what's happening right now with Dr. Idelita and Dr. Rowell is that they are having this really interesting twist
It's a
on their
reverse
journey.
migration. Really.
Yeah.
There's the reverse migration. There's the entrepreneurial reverse migration. There's the children reverse migration. The whole thing is, I think, interesting for people, and it's an opportunity for them to really get to know you better in this interview.
Yeah. So that's why I gravitate towards you, because you didn't know anything about the Philippines, and then you say, hey, I'm just going anyway.
Yeah.
You know, there is always a fear of the unknown, going out
There is.
of your comfort zone.
And, you know, we're always telling people the line from Shawshank Redemption, it's either time to start dying or time to start
Yes.
And Chrissy's yelling at him to get off the couch. And if you guys could pick up and do a reverse migration, I think they should think about that.
I think
and what
they-
it means for themselves.
Find where your happiness is.
Yeah.
And if you don't find it where you are, be willing to explore.
Yeah, just you
Because-
can always go back if it doesn't work out.
Exactly. You have that luxury that majority of Filipinos don't. They can't go to the United States. They're just dreaming to go to the United States, but you could always go back. But we are here to meet the need for people who are uncertain. You are here to meet the need for people who are uncertain too. In different aspects, but we feel the need. We love it here, and we're prepared to provide that need, so that in hopes to make your decision easier, and when you do it, it's more of a smooth transition.
Tell us about your facility and the experience of launching this business.
So we bought a 1,500 square meter property, and we renovated the existing rooms. And there are 5 rooms in varying sizes. And we thought we'll just try to keep it as homey feel as possible, and let's see. And we did, get a lot of interest and inquiry. And I was surprised that I received the calls personally, and we get an affirmation that indeed our intuition that many Filipinos want to return back to their home country because what we have seen are Filipino citizens. And these are the ones that have lived in the U.S. for many years, have raised a family, and they just want to come back and spend the remaining days of their lives here. The facility, it was challenging in the first place because renovation is more work than building. But I think that we did a pretty good job. It allows us to do several activities in the facility that many people and even families of interests throwing some ideas into how this activities can turn out more interesting for their loved ones.
So it's just 5 minutes up the road from Uptown CDO, where there's tons of guard-gated subdivisions. And do you think, in addition to Filipinos who've made good money in America and want to come home, that there'll be interest from expats who came when they were 65 or 70, and when they turn 78 or 85, they might want to consider transitioning instead of going home?
I think so, because flashback 3 years ago, we were trying to find a business in the United States that we were interested in. And then I spoke to Adelita and I said, we know all of these assisted living facilities in the United States. I toured her with assisted living facilities in the United States, expecting that, okay, we're going to set up an assisted living facility in the United States. But our plans changed to the Philippines. So basically, we saw what was offered in the assisted living facility in the United States. We are trying to apply that to our assisted living facility here. And of course, if there are expats with family ties here, and then they are getting like, oh, I can't take care of myself, we're trying to fill that gap too, you know, so that they don't have the dilemma of I have to go back and live permanently there.
Yeah.
They could still stay here. And
So you do some short-term care for after surgical operations, things like that.
yeah,
And then you have rooms that are shared with up to 3 people and private rooms. And what are the range of fees?
It can start, it depends on the size of the room and the level of care. Some need a one-on-one care.
caregiver.
Some need just, a slight supervision because they are able to do their activities of daily living. So the price can start anywhere from 40s up,
40,000 pesos.
40,000
Which is
pesos
like
per month.
$750, let's call it.
Yeah, more in the shared rooms.
More on the shared
Okay.
room and the minimum care.
Yeah.
And it can go as high as around 110
Okay. So
or the one-on-one
yeah.
private room.
So $1,900 a month or something like that. What if an expat was thinking, hey, I'm just going to hire a live-in private nurse in one of these rental houses up in the suburbs versus your facility? What is the advantage of transitioning to a facility like yours?
For somebody who has tried that, can say that it's pretty challenging. You may be able to find one or two shifting, but the nature here in
They don't
the
stay more than
Philippines,
6 months, right? They all quit.
and they can stop whenever they want, and you can't hold them. And Filipinos are into, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're more into balanced quality of life. So once they start to feel that the work is getting heavier, they can quit anytime. That's one challenge. And another thing, I just spoke to a nurse from Florida, and she brought her mom here because it needs care, and she couldn't do that in because she had her surgery herself. So her mom is now living in a condominium here in Uptown, and she rented around 25,000, and then she hired a caregiver for at least to commit 30 days, but the caregiver has to bring the entire family with her. And she said she put up I hear a lot of stories from the inquiries sharing their frustration, and this is one of those stories. So these are the advantages when families put their loved ones in our facility. This peace of mind is something you can't trade off. And the peace of mind that your mom's not going to be left alone. And then the continuity of care. And plus, we are proud to say that physician supervision is available per request in our facility.
So you've mentioned you already had your soft opening. So does that mean you're already accommodating patients right now, or you're ready to accommodate patients?
We have accommodated family members.
The demand is that strong that even our family members are, asking if they could stay there.
And families of our very close friends. So they have this, special treat to get to be the first.
Yeah.
But you're at the point where if somebody, and we'll put the contact information for Roel and Dr. Adelita in the description box, or if you write us at Fly Me to the Philippines, we'll forward that. But if somebody needed a facility in the next 2 weeks or a month, you'll be ready to accommodate, you think?
Yes, we do. We are. In fact, I wanted to mention about the advantages. Like today, you asked us where we're going at this time. We're having a seniors day out today. So we're going to have lunch together. And then some of our grandmas loves to shop. So we're taking them to at least SNR probably. So it's a big space they can roam around.
Yeah.
So
nice. So what do you, you've done this remodel, you have the soft, what are you proudest about this facility?
We're proud to be, as far as I know, we're the first to open a senior care, assisted living, and memory care facility
In Cagayan de
in
Oro.
Cagayan de Oro that offers private room.
Let's talk about the technology, basic needs that the patient will need when it comes to like emergency.
Right now, we have open services like in-home PT, physical therapy. So we have a physical therapist now coming 3 times a week. And we have provided transportation services. We have wheelchair accessible van, so we don't have to, be lifting our residents to transfer. So their own wheelchair will just go up to the van. And we have also standby and trained staff to administer the basic medical care, because in our facility, even if family have not committed for physician supervision, the caregivers are instructed and trained to have clinical eye. So at least, we're monitoring vital signs there. We're able to do that, and they report to me so I can do a triage if this is something that needs to be addressed urgently as outpatient or need hospitalization.
So let me ask you about, there's a brand new hospital like 2.5 kilometers from here. And fortunately, it's not too much traffic up to that point.
Yes.
From where you are in Lumia and from where we're here. When there is an emergency, do you call that hospital? Do you transport a patient to the hospital? What do you do in terms of hospitalization emergency?
So if I see that it is an admissible case, our standard operating procedure is we call the family, inform the family, because there has to be a guardian who will decide. We don't take them just right away. We have to inform them and give them my medical opinion. And yes, admit. So then they typically ask us, where do you feel best to put my mother or father in? So I have more comfort and ease of navigating and supervising the admission stay, hospital stay in the hospital, where it's also fairly close here, and especially that we have a transportation van, so it's easier for us to get to there.
In case of an emergency, of course, if it's a life-saving measure, we have to get them to the closest
You'll
hospital.
take them right to St. Francis.
St. Francis.
Okay.
Yeah. Dr. Adelita, you mentioned before that you have a good connection with other doctors as well and hospitals in Cagayan de Oro City. And it is like one main issue here in the Philippines that sometimes when it comes to emergency, some hospitals will not accept the patient because they're full, they're loaded. Is that something that you can assess during that time when it comes to emergency?
I'm really glad you asked that question, because you might have heard from families advised by their doctor to be admitted, and then they hit the ER, and in ER they're told we're full. So in a certain hospital, we have some connection, fortunately, that we're able to call kind of a backdoor, call admission, say there is a patient, we need to admit, and they're able to accommodate us.
Talking about the services in the US, we all know that it's very fast. Their service is very sufficient. So this question is really good for you guys because you have a great experience in the US and you're Filipinos. Are you going to adapt the kind of services in the US, like it's fast, or are you going to adapt on our hinay-hinay lang system in the Philippines in your facility here?
Slowly only.
Yeah.
So, well, that's what I emphasize to my staff in the facility. We are in the Philippines. Yes, we are proud of the Filipino culture, but I am taking the service much higher, in a much higher level standard. And I tell them it's going to be an American standard of care, and that especially with, time, promptness in giving out the service. and honesty. And I basically tell them what we are going to provide in our assisted living is going to be what I see best in the U.S. So it's an American standard of care with a unique Filipino touch of caring, compassionate, and time and respect. And that's going to be a blend of two different cultures, each with its unique best attributes.
Wow. That's I really believe that it could be the best composition of service because it has the heart of the Filipino and the U.S. standard service. So it's really good.
Yeah, well, Filipino nurses are so desired. I think they're doing that. They bring like the Philippines culture to American medicine. And when you're lucky enough to get a Filipino nurse in the West, you're like, wow, I lucked out.
In the US, it's prompt. Like, I really make an effort that within at least a few minutes, I see the patient when they are scheduled. Here, we've been through a few clinics where, like, okay, the doctor is still rounding, so you could be there for hours.
You could be downtown in the hospital.
Yes, you could stay all day waiting for the doctor.
Show up,
And that is what we say about American culture, positive American culture we're trying to bring here.
Yeah.
So with telemedicine, you could schedule at that time and you could expect the doctor, in this case, at this moment, Adelita, to show at that time through telemedicine.
Yeah.
And if she could diagnose your condition right there online, she could send the prescription to the patient, show the picture to the pharmacy, the prescription will be dispensed. So that
Photo
saves...
prescription, I call it.
What do you call it?
Photo prescription.
Write us at flymetothephilippines@gmail.com if you're interested in a private consultation or you want the laboratory work done. Chrissy's social media investigation. So what's the future of medicine here in Mindanao? 5 years from now, what is your dreams and aspirations for your assisted living, for your telemedicine? And you'll be here full time in a year, most likely?
Most likely, like, majority of the time of the year.
What do you see 5 years from now?
5 years from now, we envision that we're going to have more satellite assisted living homes, and we'll be able to cater to more and more expats and foreigners and even the locals here. And as far as the concierge telemedicine, we expect to scale.
Our vision is to have other colleagues who are maybe the rare ones that come here from the US who will partner with us to cater to these concerns. We're going to see more expats, more uncertain expats who need their continuity of care. So I'm hoping that we team up with other healthcare physicians from the US or some like from Europe and cater to the need. We really feel the need. We felt your need, we felt your friends' need, and we feel that we can help you guys out.
I know that we've met colleagues, Filipino doctors working abroad, some in Southeast Asia, who learned about what we're doing, about what crazy thing that we're doing. But and they say, like, I wish I could do the same.
Yeah.
And I think we're just the front, the dare.
The leading edge.
Yes,
Scratching
and
the
I think
surface.
that if they see us succeeding with the help of, the community, I think we'll be able to attract more Filipino doctors who also want to enjoy their country and at the same time earn a decent amount for living.
So what do you want Western men, retirees over 55 to really know about managing and caring for their health?
I think that when they aspire or decided to enjoy the remaining 20, 30 years of their lives, they have to prioritize their health first above everything, because without it, they don't have their body as a vehicle to, transport themselves and be in a place where they feel they deserve to spend the rest of their lives. So health, I think, is the best wealth anybody can have, regardless of your status.
Chrissy, we have part 2, Dr. Edelita and Dr. Roel, reverse migration. They're
Mutants.
they're pioneers, they're mutants.
We're the X-Men.
The X Factor.
Yes.
Here from Cagayan de Oro. Till next time.
Always remember, fly smart, fly with confidence, only here from Fly Me to the Philippines.